Hello everyone, my name is Ibrahim Mahfouz and I'm currently a third year electrical engineering student in Qatar University. And in this video I'll be discussing what I learned and what skills I have developed throughout my summer internship in Qatar Steel. Before I begin, I would like to express my thanks towards Dr. Amit by providing me with the amazing opportunity to be in Qatar Steel. And I'd like to thank my industrial mentor, engineer, Boshab, engineer Saifuddin, and engineer Rudwan by helping me not only gain the skills and the knowledge, but also helping me in becoming more diverse in other engineering fields rather than only in electrical engineering. So, what did I learn? Well, you might have heard me mention earlier the name Qatar Steel. And what is Qatar Steel, you may ask? Well, Qatar Steel is a steel-making company that takes iron ore and turns it into, steel billets or steel rebars based on the customer needs. So how does this process happen? Well, the iron ore gets picked up by a crane, gets dropped in a conveyor belt, and this conveyor belt takes it to the first plant, which is the direct reduction plant, which deoxidizes the iron ore and turns it into pure iron. And then this iron gets dropped in another conveyor belt until it reaches the electric furnace, and then it gets dropped with a bunch of other scrap metals, and the furnace gets heated up until they all melt at around a temperature of 1600 degrees Celsius, and then they form two products, liquid steel, and they use this product slag. But there is a gate, a specially designed gate for that slag, so that it gets flushed out and poured into a ladle, which a truck picks it up and drops it in a slag yard. So this molten steel then gets taken by a crane and then gets put in a specific place called tundish, which pours the liquid steel into a mold specially designed to withstand the high temperature of that molten liquid steel. And then this mold helps it also be in the shape of a steel billet. And then after it takes the shape, it goes through a rolling mill that takes it until a sensor detects the specific length set by the customer, and then a laser cutter then cuts the steel billet based on the length that the customer set, and then a crane takes that billet and store it until it gets cooled down. So from that step onwards, two things happen. Either they take that billet and ship it directly to the customer, or if a customer ordered a steel rebar, then a truck takes that steel billet, drops in another plant, which then takes the steel billet and makes it go through a bunch of rolling mills that helps it turn into the shape of the rebar that is mainly used in the construction sites. And then it gets shipped off to the customer. So this is all good and all, but then how does this all work? How do they all manage to do this? Well, with the help of the advancing technology, there are some motors, there's transformers, there are PLC controllers which handles the automation of the entire system in the factory, and with the help of the companies Honeywell and Siemens, the engineers and the technicians, they are able to monitor each process step by step with the tiniest details possible, and based on those they can make the decisions whether or not to shut down the facility or to maintain any other developments. So what skills did I learn afterwards? Well, after all of that, I've learned quite many, and here's a few of them. There's how I learned the steel making process, how time management is a key factor in the facility, as time is money, and how teamwork is essentially the most important thing in the work environment, where a team can actually figure out how to solve a problem all together. And if it weren't for the courses, electric machines, power system, and protection of power system, and control systems, I would have been able to understand all of the electrical machines in the facility. And that is all, everyone, for this video. And I hope you all can benefit from my discussion. And I'll see you all in the next one.